Greetings and welcome. My name is Jake Rayson. I am a forest gardener and a forest garden designer, and this is today's backyard forest live stream coming at you from Backyard Forest HQ. And this is maybe a bit of a silly thing to do, but I haven't been around our forest garden for ages. I've been so busy doing the course, doing the live stream, doing other work and doing landscaping that I've really ignored the forest garden. So this is me walking around the forest garden and going, oh my goodness me, I should have looked after that. So yes, it's going to be some shockers, but beautiful day, really warm today, warm yesterday as well, apparently the warmest day since 1953. Warmest March day since 1953. Off the plants, off. Crikey. He's specially trained to put his front paws on UK native plants. This is thyme, wild thyme. This is all UK native stuff for a garden that I'm doing. Oh crikey, it might need watering. No, that's okay. And this is Dan's plants, some of Dan's plants here. Oh crikey, what are they? Saskatoon. So they're coming on. I'm just looking after them for him. Aronia. Prunifolia. This is one I've got. That makes a really good hedge. 3 metres high, 2 metres wide, roughly. Fantastic. If you've got the space for it, brilliant. Fruit bush. I haven't actually had any. I've only had a couple of berries off mine so far because, as you see, I've ignored them. Right then, let's get cracking. So, first things first, give yourself time. If you're ever doing a garden, no matter the size of the garden, this is the polytunnel, give yourself time, because there is always, even when you have a garden set up, there is always things to do. What I want to do, Chris, who is on the Backyard Forest Telegram chat, the group, Forest Garden group, she's got brilliant, I love her polytunnel. She's got some fantastic, she's got a peach, is it peach or is it I think it's a peach, or is it something else, like a peach, a nectarine, something like that. Anyway, she's got one in a polytunnel. And what I want to do here is to put in, this is Mitsuna, which is going over, but I thought I'd leave the flowers on. It's all, I want to move away from annuals, because this is all so much work. I need to put in, what I generally do each year is put a layer of compost in. I haven't put that in yet. Put a layer of compost in, and then I'll put some a grass mulch over the top just to suppress the weeds. Gooseberry. Oh, what's it called? Chenopodium annual thingy, which is great and edible, but it does kind of come up everywhere. Nasturtiums, which I'll replant somewhere else. But I do want to get into perennials in the forest garden. So I've started up here. There's a grape. Whoa! And this is a Chilean guava. Oops, it's a bit burnt by the frost. Another Chilean guava there. Lots of kind of Herb Robert, I think. Oh, so I just want to kind of move over to a perennial polytunnel. Still have space for tomatoes and chilies. So slowly. This is Cape Gooseberry, and this is a perennial. It does survive. They've all survived the winter, and it was cold this winter. No watering during the winter. Cut them right back. No water during the winter. This is their 3rd year, and they are pretty prolific as well. I could probably feed them and then mulch them again, because they just produce a whole load. We've had quite a few jars. The best jam in the world is ground cherry jam, and you can treat them as a perennial if you cut them back in the winter. I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, it's exciting, because this is, these are just volunteers. This is an Aquilegia, and that looks like a hedge woundwort. That one there. There's dandelion, and there's some sort of other dandelion thing. So anyway, point is, I really want to get this over to more perennial with a ground cover, and comfy and more self-sustaining, because it's so much work. Because like with the polytunnel, I have to there are jobs that need to be done, and this whole lot needs to be cleaned and to let more light in. I need to get the tomatoes ready, need to get the beds all ready, put the compost down. I think switch over. I'm going to put in kind of general perennial vegetables and put them into the polytunnel, but then extend the season and have different seasons. So yeah, that's the first thing, more perennial vegetables. Second thing, there's always lots of structural stuff that needs to be done. So I still do make compost in a kind of haphazard sort of way. Wow, this is brilliant. Oh wow, yeah. So there's a carrot there. There's bits of comfrey coming up. This is a gooseberry bush. The gooseberry bush is up, which is brilliant. Which one is it? Hino green. And I've got, great combination, ground ivy and rhubarb. And every single bit of rhubarb I put out, I didn't think that would work, but I divided the rhubarb. There's 6 of them. There's Timperley's early, and there's another one which I can't remember. So they've done fantastically well. Full sunspot. Wonky tree that I planted badly last year, Spartan, which I got cheap. I think I got it for a £5 or something. And then there's another. These are on semi-dwarf rootstocks. So yeah, very exciting. But there's again, like, I don't want to keep on making. Well, I'll keep on making compost, but there's lots of stuff that needs to be fixed. So like all the pallets are starting to rot here, and I'll build that. And then these are the propagation beds. They need kind of rejuvenating because I've used a lot of these plants in the job. Well, it's fantastic. And bits of weeding and stuff. But this is periwinkle, and everything's. Oh, there's a bank of periwinkle out the front. It is brilliant. I do love it. I mean, it's not really a native. Gives you fantastic cover. And then the Nepalese raspberry. It's all coming up. So this needs a bit of a weed as well. That's not too bad. A thing you do need to do. There's 2 things I would say that you really need to do. Well, 3 things. Firstly, take your time when doing your garden. Do it bit by bit. Yeah, don't try and put in the windbreaks and the canopy. Then keep it as grass, and then mow it, and just do the ground cover and the shrubs section by section. I've tried to do everything all at the same time, and I've been left with lots of plastic down. And I wouldn't use woven sheet mulch again. I'll do it probably with a digger to scrape the grass off, because that'd be one day's work rather than 6 months of unrecyclable plastic. So stage the work that you're doing on the garden. Do it section by section. Concentrate on getting the windbreaks, canopy first of all, and the structural stuff, and then for the shrubs and the ground cover, just do it bit by bit. Yeah. And the other thing I would say is grass. Just when you do your sections, get rid of your grass, because what happens is the grass will encroach, grass creep. It is by its very nature, it's a fantastic ground cover, but it needs a lot of maintenance. It needs lots of mowing if you're going to use it as a path covering. And I say lots, it needs mowing every few weeks, and it grows like crazy, so it'll extend into things. So here, this is a kind of a hodgepodge of blackcurrant, and there's a gooseberry, and lots and lots of raspberry, Japanese quince. I think it's Japanese quince, and it really needs to have the grass taken right back. Similarly here on the yellow cornice, and just have a thin grass strip that can be one mowing width that can be mown. So that's the second thing, get rid of your grass. And thirdly, I'll show you up around here. So so like the whole kind of grass thing, this is a classic illustration. I put like sheet mulch down here, down the side of the polytunnel. It doesn't work. It does work, but then you got to weed anyway, because the grass grows over the top of it. Same with all these. So what I want to do here is get rid of the grass from the top there, and get rid of all this grass, and put wood chip down on the grass path on that side as well. and put wood chip down. And these are the annual beds, which are looking right old, sorry state at the moment. And then for the annual beds, I am moving over to perennial vegetables. So I've got elephant garlic, which isn't exactly perennial, but well, kind of, and potato onions, which are like shallots but slightly bigger. And these are the kale, which were never supposed to be here, but plant them out perennial wise. Had a really hard frost, and actually one of the kale hasn't done well. This is Portuguese kale. I've got some Dorperton kale to plant out at some point. And then here, these are like hefty old stakes, and they've done really badly. The string snapped. I mean, it's and the metal wire snapped as well. So what I'm going to do, dear big old dock there. This wire, I'm going to get a thick wire. I'm going to set these in concrete, and then they won't move, because the wind comes in off here. If you have any beans, they get blown to smithereens. So I am going to set these in concrete and put a decent wire on, and then for beans I'm going to grow them as annuals. You can grow runner beans as annuals apparently, so that's what I'm going to try, and then protect them in the winter. We've got the builders coming around, so all this needs to be weeded and just kind of cleared up. And there's lots and lots of things that I don't know what they are around here. Lots of dock, lots of grass, lots of nettles, foxglove, and I've got various bits of onions. Again, I'm really bad with labelling. And there's Gooseberry, which are cuttings from Annie Kelsey gave me some cuttings, which I need to rescue those as well and just clear this up. This needs to be kind of rethought out, how I'm going to be dealing with it in terms of which annual vegetables I'm going to have. So potatoes, because they taste so much nicer than buying them from the shop, and then switching over to onions and potato onions and the garlic, and get rid of this bloody grass. Really get rid of it. Oh wow. And you can see here, this is like there's grass creeping in down this in this bed here. So I put in some perennial kale, sorrel. There's I can't remember, bloodleaf sorrel, and then there's garden sorrel, which I think might be from Alison Tyndale at Backyard Larder. So that's nice. Plan when you're doing your garden, your forest garden or any garden, plan it out. Don't try and do everything all at the same time. Secondly, that's the first point. Do the structural stuff, the windbreaks and the canopy layer, and then do the make sure you reduce the amount of grass that you have, because the grass kind of creeps everywhere and will kind of take over, and provide access. And the other thing is, the third thing I would say is windbreaks. I put these in the winter. I didn't get through to create them. These are my windbreaks, rather than a double thickness one, like this one here. These are single, but I'm going to weave material in, so that will provide some strength for them, and there'll be enough protection, because this is what happens if you live on a hill. This is a quince on a quince A rootstock, which is a big old tree, and it has been blown last July. It's got blown over. So dead hedge, get your dead hedges in. We've got the ash trees, some ash trees coming down with ash dieback, so I will get a lot of the brash from the ash trees and put them in. And this is an apple, which is a shame. It's a lovely apple. It's Annie Elizabeth, which is a cooker, and this has always struggled in this spot. But again, I'm going to put a dead hedge in, stake it yet again, cut it back. I haven't pruned the bloody trees yet this year either. That's something else that needs to be done. And then the idea here, yeah, crikey, the idea here is to have perennial veg in this part as well. So, yep, I've got a lot of perennial veg thinking and planning to do, but I do need to get the ground cover in. Yes. Okay. And then, wow, what a lot. And then this is this area here is a pear tree. This area here is a bit like, wow, there's a blue bean tree down here somewhere. And it's not really been terribly well thought out, but it does get a fair bit of sun. So this is going to be the new fruit area. So gooseberry, well, I've got one gooseberry over there, but gooseberries, white currants, red currants, all kind of fruit bushes. So I've got a whole load of different fruit bushes that I've taken cuttings from, and I'll be putting that down here, this cornice hedge, and then providing access. And I have not weeded this for 3 years, and it's not bad. Bloody hell, I am quite surprised. So we've got Nepalese raspberry, lots and lots of plantain, ribbed plantain, can't remember the name of it. Loads and loads of Nepalese raspberry, and I put in, you can see the flowers. Oh yeah, I weeded it a year ago. This is all the periwinkle, so it's starting to get established. It takes a couple of years to get established, but it's not too bad, and now is the time for me to get stuck in here. And what I'm going to do, real issue I have, is access and labelling things. So I'm going to start putting in paths. So I want to put a path right in here, right into the centre of this bed, up to here, and then being able to kind of radiate off of it and access the different bushes, because they're not very it's not very accessible. It's a big wide bed, not very accessible, not very well planned. And there's quite a lot. There's like blackcurrant bushes. Oh, here it is. Whoa, nearly walked on top of it. This is the blue bean tree, which is okay considering it's been totally neglected. And wow, just wow, old oak tree that I meant to move, little oak sapling there. And that's the periwinkle doing its periwinkle thing. Wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. The sorrel, Nepalese raspberry, that's not too bad. Bramble down here. Oh, another, this is a Asturian tree cabbage, and I'm going to move it anyway. This one's died by the look of it. Okay, so that's a lot. This needs to be kind of detailed, and removing grass section by section. So this will be the big old fruit area, and I'll be removing grass, removing the grass from the path and putting paths into it, weeding it, and kind of making it much more accessible in that spot there. So that's going to be good. And then this is Japanese. This is kind of the shrubbery. Now Pam, who is not really active on the Forest Garden group anymore, she had a mound. So I've got some more turf that you use as a mound, and then I've got some blackcurrant cuttings, and I'll put the blackcurrant cuttings along here, and this will provide a height about 1.5 meters, and it will provide some protection for the kind of beds, the perennial veg bed area here. And again, more dead hedging along this way. And these are the lime tree, small leaf lime. Hey, and the white mulberry as well. You can see right proper lean on it from all the wind. And then periwinkle, lots of plantain, not too bothered about the plantain. Bramble is the main, bramble and docks are the two main things I want to kind of keep an eye on. There's a currant. Wow. And then there's an amelanchier on the foliage somewhere. There it is. Yeah, bit of bramble, lots of bramble. So the bramble's the main thing to kind of get rid of. Not too worried about the plantain. I'll kind of pull out, I'll kind of chop it with a pair of scissors. I pull up the bramble. This is an Amelanchier alnifolia obelisk. Very upright, very beautiful. There's a wild rose, which I let it do its thing. And over this side is, so there's periwinkle on that side, and over this side it's dwarf comfrey, and a lot of suckering blackthorn from there. But again, you know, that's not too bad. A bit of grass. I'll pull up the grass, pull up the blackthorn. It's not too bad, actually. It's herb Robert and cow parsley and Viscus sylvestris, I think it is. A lot of docks here. I did dig up some dock last year before last. Woodland pile. Oh wow! And here is a rose. This is the neglected Aronia prunifolia Viking hedge, the Aronia Viking, and they're all alive. They live, which is brilliant. Now, this is what I love about a forest garden. To be honest, there's a whole self-sufficiency thing going on in forest gardening. Wow! And here's one of my little labels that I forgot about. Fantastic! Look at it working. There's a whole self-sufficiency thing going on, which I'm not big. Well, I think it's good. You know, we need to plant now for future generations, and part of that is planting edible crops and edible trees and edible shrubs and bushes and low maintenance stuff. But it doesn't have. You don't have to be totally self-sufficient. I sure as hell we have not been even slightly totally lapsed on the vegetable front. So I do think what is lovely about a forest garden is you can get it going, and you don't have to think, oh, I'll have to get a harvest from it, I have to get a crop from it. If you're growing annual vegetables, then there's absolutely no point growing annual vegetables unless you're eating it. Yeah. What's the? You're just growing them and then they're going. Whereas if you're growing a forest garden, there is a point to it. You're providing future generations with food, and you're providing habitat for wildlife. More grass over here. This is Nepalese raspberry. This is prickly quad. I've divided up the garden into different areas. So that's the shrubbery. That's blue bean border. Prickly quad here with a Chinifolium, Xanthoxylum, simulans, Szechuan pepper, which is still alive, which is incredible. And there's a lovely, lots more grass down here. This needs quite a lot of care and attention. Oh, it's not doing that well. This is a Japanese quince. Oh, Camelus ex superba, crimson and gold, which is a beautiful plant. Oh, you can see, it's been a bit squashed. Anyway, loads of work. I'm not going to do it now. Loads of work to do clearing this up. Ivy I don't mind, so long as it's not all over the place. And then I was going to have a Mahonia hedge somewhere. I know this is me, L. Wangeriana. Hawthorn, not brilliantly happy. This is L. Wangeriana, but alive, which is the main thing. Grass needs weeding out. Nepalese raspberry everywhere. And that's supposed to be a Mahonia hedge, which I never got round to, which I will this year. Oh, wow. Wow. And then I put some raspberry in just because, hey, why not? And it's kind of gone everywhere, which is good. I don't mind. It's doing its raspberry thing. And strawberry. This is probably ground cover strawberry. Which one? Beech strawberry, Chiloensis, Fragaria chiloensis, which is doing surprisingly well. I mean, there's lots of things coming up. What the hell's that? I don't know what that is. I didn't plant that, did I? Or ash saplings. Lots of grass. This is really, really neglected over here. Another bramble. And then there should be blackcurrant hedge. Yes! Oh, more ash trees falling over. So I put some blackcurrant out here. And wow, that's been squashed. Whoa, this is what happens. But a lot of them are alive. That's pretty good going. Sticks in the ground, blackcurrant hedge. Sticks in the ground, and they've mostly survived, so I'll top that up. And then, oh, this is brilliant. So grass, lots of this grass needs weeding. This is a real kind of, where did that daffodil come from? It's not a native, this is a double-headed one. I don't even know. Whoa, what is that? Oh, I don't know what that is even. I don't know what that is, and I should. Looks like maybe elderberry? And then there is loads of Rubus tricolor. See where the grass has kind of won the battle, but it's okay. And there's a couple of corners that need to be moved. They're just planted here to grow on. And then this is a Rus tufina, stag's horn sumac, with these beautiful velveteen shoots on the new growth. And then like big spires. It was a big tree and then it kind of came down, but they're kind of pretty indestructible. They do sucker, so you've got to get the right one. There's lots of different species of Rus, so you can get a smaller one, but you make a lemonade out of them. So yeah, wow for Rubus tricolor. Look at that go! Oh, that's amazing. And then I have a sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn is fruiting, female and male and female. So this is orange energy. So lots of grass needs to come out here, but and there's another sea buckthorn here. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I am quite surprised. Now this is a bit of a bloody mess area here. So we've got minty triangle down this point, and it's all right. Yep, it's not too bad. Again, I want to take loads of the grass back. It looks like campion, strawberry. Did I put strawberry in? I do not remember putting strawberry in, but I must have done. And this is all Mentha longifolia, horse mint, down here, which looks like it's holding its own as well. And that's allegedly horse mint up there as well, but not doing so well. And it lives! This is Harringtonia, how do you pronounce it? Cephalotaxus Harringtonia, which is a plum yew. But it's alive, which is something. And then there's another one which probably won't, it's Poncerus trifoliata, which is probably dead. Well, I don't know. It might be alive. It hasn't grown. That's a bitter orange. A crab apple, which has got squashed about 3 different times by falling ash trees. And this is the worst area. This is a slug in my face. And worse, I never got round to doing the ground cover properly, and you can tell because the grass has started to come back. So this is something I do need to do, is to sort out this area. This is called the far side. So there's a sweet chestnut, a cherry. Don't put your cherries miles away because you will never get any cherries. I did. And it's got nurse trees of red dogwood. Again, they're getting too big. They'll be competing with the cherry tree, so they need to be moved. But yeah, if you do have an area that you've got under sheet mulch, then do put down some ground cover plants, because this is what will happen if you don't. It'll revert to grass. So that's my bad. And then I've got some, there's loads. I put loads of cuttings in here, and that just all needs to be sorted out as well. There's a willow there, and then there's a black cherry, a rather sad looking, badly pruned tree which is going to come out, a Mirabilan plum, and then a damson prune, Shropshire prune, which is a damson, and then Elaeagnus umbellata here in the centre. Yeah, and then there's, book up there and have a quick look. Anyway, this is the most work, which is kind of not surprising really. And then there's a little bit of fungi going on here. Wow, fungi action. Amazing. Absolutely no idea what it is at all. Oh, and then so this was supposed to be Willow Walk. I need to look at this. Is supposed to be Coppice Willow, and it isn't really. I've got lots of comfrey down here, and there was supposed to be ground cover as well, but it'll get there. Dogwood, which is in the wrong place. Raspberries, for some reason, up here. Whoa! And this is the hedge. Now, the other thing that I've done really badly on is the sheet mulch. I put sheet mulch down, and I've never put ground cover plants in. So all this needs to be come up all the way. It's 80 metres long, and I need to get ground cover in here. So that's a massive, massive, massive job. Bramble needs to cut back. I'll put ground cover on this side first of all this year, and then hopefully cut the bramble back. Bramble's always going to come in, but what you want is for this hedge to be thick enough that it will keep the bramble down. As you can see at the moment, the bramble's still kind of coming up. So loads of debrambling and then growing on a lot of ground cover for this part here. Whoa, this is another. Loads of sea buckthorn, guelder rose, lots of bramble. That shouldn't be there. I think that's a rowan tree. Juneberry. Supposed to be something else. Oh, there's a sea buckthorn in there. Or Juneberry. Wow, and then I love it. This is brilliant. This is fantastic. This is a Italian alder, and that is 8 meters tall, and that was planted in 2016. So that's planted 5 years ago. So that is pretty amazing. There's another one there which is a bit more crooked. If you can see that one, and then yeah, there's a cherry there. So that is brilliant. That is incredible. That's just like a tree. That's fantastic. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, and the New Zealand flax is coming on. I put loads of teasel in. It's got some strawberry on it, and you can see it's starting to hold its own. So yeah, do get ground cover in. As soon as you clear it, put the ground cover in. So I've got a load of work. This is big job. And then I'm going to keep this area here as grass. There's an autumn olive there, which is, I didn't realise you need pollinating partners for autumn olive. So that autumn olive there now has a pollinating partner, that one. And I might have to move that Juneberry or cut it back. And then there's a hawthorn here, and then a little baby Italian alder here. So I'm keeping this as grass, and then doing that area down there, perennial veg. So not too bad actually. Well, not as bad as I thought. Loads of work to do clearing the grass where I haven't put any ground cover, but where there is ground cover, that's okay. So lots of work to do clearing grass. Lots of work taking up old plastic sheet mulch. Never using plastic sheet mulch again. Well, I say that, but no. And yeah, removing grass paths, and then oh yeah, this is supposed to be a den for the kids, and I've never finished it. So that needs to be finished. I'm going to get the children out by making them a special den, and this area needs to be planted up here as well. What I have done, lucky because I've got lots of space, but what I have done is got this is going to be a woodland area here, so I want to put, these are some lots of cuttings of different things and plants for different clients and stuff. But this is a good woodland spot here because it gets a bit of shade in the afternoon. So I want to put in things like giant Solomon seal and hostas and things like that. Put them around here. Get rid of the leaf mould thing that's not really using it. And then I'm going to move all the propagation stuff down to the bottom. And this will be a woodland area. And then today, the chicken shed is going. The pre-vegan chickens are no longer with us. What I am going to do, so that the chicken shed would move today, and then there's some periwinkle and some dwarf comfrey and some creeping Taiwanese bramble there. I'm going to move all of these, put them into pots, and then use them for various jobs, and use them around our garden as well, and just propagate the hell out of everything, so that we've got I want to turn this area into a wildflower garden, and then next year ornamental forest garden is that one, but that's next year. So this year lots and lots of cutting the lawn back. There we go. Anyway, that's me rambling on and being pleasantly surprised. I don't have as much work as I thought. What I will do, have a quick look at the chat. Blimey, what a lot of chat. Okay, I'll have a quick look at the chat here. Julie, how are you going to stop the birds eating all your currants if you put them all together? I don't know. Oh, a blue stone for my blue bean tree, says Abby. Colour-coded trees would be a good idea. So you put the stones according to what the colour. So you put red pebbles by strawberries. It also dissuades the birds, as Rob pointed out the other day on the backyard forest group. Yeah. Okay. I've got a plan. So Chris is saying I need a forest garden journal. But what I do want to do is to revisit the plan. Okay. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. So quite self-indulgent, but it's kind of interesting to see that it works. Yeah, the raspberries will take over, as you can see, but the ground cover works. I have minimal weeding here. This is just like absolutely minimal weeding, mixture of ground ivy and strawberry. So ground ivy in the shadier spots, strawberry holds its own in the sunnier spots. That's Fragaria viridis, I think, green strawberry. But it worked. The principle works where you've got a ground cover. It kind of holds its own. So lots of removing grass, cutting grass back, and creating new areas, but cutting the grass back, getting the windbreaks in. Yeah, that's my takeaway from today. So I'm going to go and do I'm going to go and do the Zoom now. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'm really excited now. That's brilliant. That's really, really good. A load of work to do, absolutely load of work, but I'm really, really excited that I've got an idea, a kind of a focus on getting perennial veg up and running, and just dealing with it section by section, bit by bit, just get each area up and running. Cool, thank you.